Not looking for something steady, not ready for that. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine, now show me what you can do. Make a move, the way my hands feel on your body. We were dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body. The way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. Every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you.
The sun is shining, there's a bit of a breeze. It's a perfect day for speech Frisbee.
We have two.
We are moments away from the opening pull now.
Deep breaths before the madness begins.
Greatest attempt! Oh my goodness, way out to keep it alive! My brains are melting out of my ears! What is going on out there?
Women's Division champions.
Gold medal winners here on the beach. European Beach Ultimate Club champions.
Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon. Ticking into the evening, everybody. We are back at EBUCC 2025 on the sands of Gdańsk, bringing you open division action between two undefeated sides to see who will take top spot in Pool C. We have the Rats of Bristol Open taking on Germany's FT Würzburg. Benjamin Rees, delighted to be back in the booth, joined by the one and only Stefan Rapazzo. And given how these sides have performed today, we could be in for a little bit of a cracker here, Steph.
Yeah, this has all the writing on the wall. We've had some of the writing on the wall and provided for us. We've had some letdowns, but I got a feeling about this one, Benji. They've had some similar results. As you said, both undefeated. Würzburg had 12-9 against both Vodai and Ukraine Open, and then 13-6 against AKS, where Bristol went slightly better with a 13-8 and 13-6 on Varai in Ukraine, and then a 13-7, slightly worse against AKS. So these are the kind of things, you look at those scores, you can paint a little bit of a picture of what you're going to get, but we know none of that really matters. These two got to just start smashing heads against one another and see how this shapes itself out, and we are moments away from those foreheads bashing now, and that's very figurative, of course.
Whatever happens, we'll see both of these sides in the pre-quarters, but you want to give yourself the best possible path through the bracket by coming out undefeated on the pool. And yes, you do get that little bit of extra confidence that comes with knowing that no one has been able to knock you off your perch so far this weekend.
Well, that is very true, Ben. They both move on, but why take the foot off the pedal now? Fight tooth and nail for the end of the day. Both of them will get to take a break after this game. Go lick what any wounds may be open, but the hot showers and the meals, time for a rest, so leave it out on this field. Put on the show for us, why don't you? We know everybody at home watching is looking for that, and certainly those people at home watching are ready to get in the chats. We've got some there already. They're hitting that like button. They're going to subscribe, and they're going to stay with us for the entirety of this one. Here we go, Benj.
So Bristol Open, the Rats in red, starting on defense. Würzburg in the white with the maroon shorts, going right to left offensively, finding a yardage gain it downfield to Gauger. Now a little leading pass, trying to utilize the flow down the far sideline. That one looks like it ate sand, and both players did on the end of it as well. First turnover goes Bristol's way.
Yeah, Gauga a little off balance, threw a good one to open the sequence, but then the throw for score was not working out for him.
Ellis now finding an option downfield. The big man, Vasilit's going to rip it. Hron tries to cover the sand and lays out at the back of the end zone. Dan Hron with the snag to give Bristol the break on the game's first point, exactly the way they would have wanted to start.
We are getting our weather protocol coming our way right now. The lightning, there was a flash. It is 12 kilometers away, so we are not taking the. We're not ending.
We're not in
for
range
weather.
just yet. Yes, if you hear a couple of like a double hooter blast during the game, that will be the signal that there is lightning in the area. And at that point, I think we will pretty quickly scarper, to be honest, because I do not mess with the lightning, and I do not think anyone should mess with lightning. You did see, though, that from the clouds in the background, that despite the potential storms, it's very calm out here. The wind's been a bit gusty and blustery today, but that shouldn't be a problem for either of these teams at the moment, as that disc just about lands out of bounds, and Würzburg will get it from the brick mark. How's your German geography, Steph? Where is Würzburg?
My German geography is incredible. It's part of Bavaria, of course. And yeah, I'll tell you more after the play.
I would recommend asking Gigi behind you, who partly grew up in Würzburg. The Germans now back on offense, just beyond the midfield mark. Having to be a little bit more circumspect in possession. Not seeing any shots downfield. Ostertag back into the backfield. Trying to run the 1-2. Does get it back. No continuation, though, on that moment. So they're running it pretty heavily through Igor Naumov. That now naturalized Russian, who has it in his hands again. Former champion on this surface, I believe, at this event. That one floated high, well reeled in. Now Ostertag. Doing a very good job of slowing them down, but looking unflustered at the moment, Würzburg. At the front of the end zone, a little behind Natal, but not a problem, as Würzburg, with their first goal of the game to tie us at once. That was assured, I think.
Assured indeed. The Ostertag I saw last week in Ghent, playing at G-Spot tournament, playing with the German Masters. He was really using his pace and speed to propel them into the semis at that tournament. I see much of the same out of him here. He's got blazing speed. He's just such an assured player. Catch and release speed is exceptional. And he really can be the heartbeat of the team, or the motor anyways, to get it going and hopefully to keep it going. So I'll be keeping my eye on him as this one goes as well.
First time we're seeing Bristol's offense out there on the field. Here's Cameron, Sam Cam as he's often called. So they trying to flow it towards the far sideline. The shot goes. Has to get the box out, but couldn't do it early enough. And that's a good block there, coming round by Kerner. Able to rise up and knock it away before Schultz got a shot.
Yeah, I'll say that's a great block to go up and take it away. Basically a trailing edge block. He really put some torsion on the body. You'll see it again here. Got to the outside of it and smacked it back in towards the intended receiver to give themselves a break chance.
A slightly rising throw that's caught without a problem. Another flash of lightning in the distance. Doesn't matter. Well held. And that one, again, they're having to go to sand a lot, but they are keeping these distances alive. Now they're airing it out towards the end zone, and he has the steps and creates a little bit more. Jakob Schäfer with the score. That brings us back on serve. Würzburg break back at the first time of asking.
Wow, what a start to the game. Couple breaks already. Krayev gets this one here. and love the shape that Kraev puts on that all the time in the world to be run onto. And we had 2 breaks this early, 1 hold in the middle. This one's got some shape to it already.
And you can see those skies are very dark over towards the left-hand side there behind the players' tent. And that is where the weather is coming from. So we are, of course, keeping an eye on it. It's part of the reason why you're seeing this from maybe more of a lower field angle. I think because we are, just a little bit wary, perhaps, of making sure we can get the cameras down. It may be a little bit in advance of any potential inclement weather. That one run through block. Schaefer again. Running the 1-2 in the backfield, they peel off the switch. Now with the stall count ticking off, trying to break it around. Nice break as well. Visser. Mark tries to adjust to take away downfield options. Schaefer again with a sensational grab out of Visser to keep the play alive. And now he's going to blade for the back of the end zone where he finds Timon Hruška. And after that early stutter, Würzburg have hit their straps at 3-1.
Well, good on you, Timon Hruška, for hauling in the goal, but that point belonged to the pairing of Schaefer and Visser. The run-through by Schaefer to get possession, but then the 2 of these 2 going back and forth. This layout, goodness gracious, Visser, give yourself a pat on the back. That was sensational stuff to maintain the possession, to solidify a second break, and now what is a run 3 in a row for FT Würzburg after Bristol opened the door.
Yeah, their O-line has not been able to put things together. But you've got to credit, I think, Würzburg's D-line because they've generated 2 break opportunities and taken them both. And to be fair to Bristol, they generated that on their only break chance, they were able to score as well. So both sides been clinical on the turn, if not necessarily before it. Big pump fake there from Ellis Cockcroft. Now Cameron thinking about it, but instead just going short. Ellis Cockcroft again. Ron, just about gets that past the mark of Hruška. Begins to take off as Ellis Cockcroft around to Cameron. Doesn't want the under option, so going to swing instead. Not getting any downfield movement until then. Cameron looked over the wrong shoulder for a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Those long strides glide across the sand into the end zone for the score. Not quite sure why he looked over the right shoulder, but didn't matter in the end.
He must have heard something or seen a flash of something that led him to believe that it would be coming from the other side of his body. Here it is again, though. I mean, he did look over the left shoulder first before he took off, and then looked over the right once it was in the end. That is very perplexing, but all credit to him. He did turn back to the left, spotted the disc, got the read right, ran it down, and came up with one of our cameras in his face.
A very muted celebration there from Cameron.
But does he get fired up? Is he the type that gets fully animated? He doesn't strike me as such.
Bit more of a measured soul, perhaps.
That was him getting excited.
I dread to think what happens if he does something really cool. Here's the deep shot coming out of the hands of Naumov down that far sideline. Woo! Well challenged, but it's not enough. It's Yanis Gauga this time on the receiving end. Würzburg not afraid to air it out a little bit, they're showing.
I thought the defense was quite good by Richardson. And I thought it was enough. In fact, I was very surprised to see that in the hand of Gauga. Here it is again. Yeah, that is sensational focus on the disc. He's fanning himself up. He knows he heated up to get that one. But credit to the defense, but more to that playmaking ability of Gauga to reel in the goal.
It's a very close game. You can tell that it feels like nothing's necessarily been easy for either side offensively. Even when they have been clean, there have been players pretty close by. It must say the sea looks very calm beyond the stand on the far side.
Everything is calm right now, and I guess that's what they say, you know, the
Calm before the storm, yep, 100%. And
because it is exceptionally calm in every sense right now.
when we say before the storm,
yes.
I think the storm is somewhere. It's just a question of whether it's close enough yet.
I just hope it goes somewhere else.
Me too.
Sopot is a nice place for it to go.
Into the hands of Knight, who's putting some air underneath it on a line. Vaslit with an incredible reaching grab. Vaslit again just trying to dust himself down a little bit. Looking towards the end zone. And the disc took the wrong edge and agonizingly away from Thomas Schiltz. And the hard work from that grab came to nothing.
The preservation of greatness. Look at this again, Benji. That's just great. You love the full splash dive. He caught it on his way back to the ground on the crash landing. A shame that the next throw went to FT Würzburg.
Now Würzburg trying to take the break opportunity, airing it out once more, trying to exploit Knight deep, and he's just shy of the end zone. Can they punch it over the precipice? Dished back a little behind, but not a problem for Plane. Trying to swing it all the way across, still not in yet, but the simple pop to the end zone for the bespectacled Warnecker. And that is a break, or is it? Because there might be a little bit of conversation there from Weinstein, but I think they're happy that the goal is good. And that is another break. 5-2 now for Würzburg in the battle of these undefeated sides. It's the Germans at the moment who are on top.
Warnecker really set that one up. He had the big run to the corner, showing his speed off throughout the point to get separation on the first downfield, the first big chunk gainer. And then doing it once again in the end zone with some lateral cutting. Get in the lead screw. Get in the lead screw.
Again, appreciate this is a lower angle than you're probably used to, but we do have the only the low cameras at the moment. We've put the high cameras down because that lightning is not far away and we want to be ready and prepared. And while we love bringing you the best ultimate we can, obviously safety is our #1 priority. Nice leading pass there, down line for Mason. Does he see the pop into the end zone? He does.
We did
at
just
that
hear
second
a horn.
opportunity. Yeah, that did sound like a horn. I wonder if that is the lightning horn as Richardson makes the catch.
And
that's definitely the signal that there is lightning and storms in the area. So we will pause now temporarily as well, so we can get to the very nearest Faraday cage. Thanks for watching here on ULTI.TV. Hopefully we'll be back with you soon here at EBUCC 2025.
I was feeling this thing moving. I was like, are we sinking? And I was like, no, I don't think so. We're going to just like... Yeah. What was the score and the time in that game? 5-3. 5-3 to not Bristol.
Can you see there's a marquee just in the ocean over there?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And how long do you go?
Do we have cameras? This one's don't we have
Doing great, Gigi. We're all here for moral support. We're not actually going to help you. Great work.
Thank you. What did you say, sorry?
Let's make sure just all the cords and shit are clear.
Yep.
We made a bit of a mess.
So are we on in 10 minutes? Is that the plan? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we have to focus. We need hands on deck. Billy, can you help? We have cam 4, please. Thank you. We just need some... We should be okay. Can you just focus on yourself, Steph?
Down at night, by my side. I dream and fantasize that I come by your house, telling you about my regrets. Why did I have to break it up? Guess I was way too shallow. My mind was way too narrow. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best way. I know why we say goodbye. Hello. I know how to love you now. No matter what I do, I can't let go. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways. Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help. that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. 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 I just can't stop thinking about you.
Head underwater, falling back into you. I thought we'd be smarter, I got nothing left to lose. You said you fall with me, no matter how far it goes. Down deep and under, we're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You changed it, I can't. You pull me back into your river, swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. I don't know the reasons, I'm not sure I really care. We're all of our demons, and they never disappear. I will forgive you if you've forgiven me. We're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go. Something about you feels so different, makes me wanna risk it every time I look at you. You pull me back into your river, swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. I know it's not easy, I know we could dive into. We're not like the others, they do not need to know. You said you fall with me, no matter how deep it goes. With my head underwater.
We're back. Did you miss us? It's like we never left. That is the aftermath of the storm that has rolled through the beach here in Gdańsk.
What is that, Benji?
That is one of the sideline shade tents. And we are underway back here. EBUCC 2025 rejoining action in this open pool game between FT Würzburg from Germany and Bristol Open from the UK. Bristol had just scored to make it 5-3, which is why we have Würzburg in the white jerseys starting on offense, collecting the centering option. Leathers the forehand downfield to Gauger. Popped off to Nital. Now Gauger will just pass the bidding defender. Ostertag seemed remarkably unflustered. Naumov now on the far sideline. That backwards purple baseball cap. Ostertag tries to muscle his way up line, but Naumov instead scubas to access the soft side. Brockmeyer dishing back to Gauger. Another bid comes in. That one always seemed late though and is temporarily out of position, and that's the risk if you starting. Well, looking not dissimilar to where they were when we left. 6-3 now they lead.
6-3 lead, and Würzburg looking good. They were getting the block. Bit of awe at how far away that tent is in the ocean. That's a nautical mile from here.
I mean, the storm rolled in really quickly. Let's be real. It wasn't here, and then once the hooters went, we barely had time to zip up the tent before the elements truly hit. And it's amazing that not an hour later, everything's blowing through and we're good to go again. Summerby. Wolf. He's trying to there underneath it, looking for Chris Allen to be a field stretcher. That's exactly what he gets, charging deep from the far side. Beautiful throw.
Scintillating throw. You see him really measuring up his options and then takes it. I had the opportunity to be on the coaching side of Gateway. Impressive to watch him here under the...
And Naumov has it now.
Big hats off to you and your throws right now. You are doing your part, most certainly.
So can they find ways to really get into that offensive mindset that Würzburg currently seems so locked into? That might be a good way with the pool fielded deep in the end zone. Ostertag's first pass goes to Brockmeyer. Initiating out of the side stack. Naumov comes free underneath. And now Naumov taking on the break side. Huck trying to lean it over the top of the defense. Well tracked and well reeled in by Gauger, who tosses for Ostertag for the score. They got the one-on-one matchup downfield, put pressure, but it wasn't enough. Gauger catches and then converts to Ostertag.
Yeah, Ostertag, again, scintillating pace with his cuts, his speed. There's Naumov throw. But this time he didn't really get, or Gauger didn't get the separation, but Ostertag is doing it. Every time I've seen him play, I mean, twice in 2 weeks now, he's just blowing people up with the pace. He tends to do it a bit more in the give and go, the flow game, but most certainly in a continuation, if he sees a player upfield in scoring position and he decides to put on the Jets, he can and will give those scoring options.
Another strong pull from Würzburg. Both sides seem to have got that field dimensions measured up. Now another deep shot. Oh, Allen might have a job to keep this in on the sideline, and he knew that he had to go for it early and could only tip it round the corner. Würzburg generate the turnover on that sideline deep shot. They've had success with Allen striking deep from that sideline before, but on that occasion, the disc led him more towards the center of the field. This time, too much edge on it, and it went out that far side.
Big chance to capitalize for Würzburg. You see the total completed passes there. They are doubling and some with a 3-point lead.
Bristol need this turnover back, and they're going to get it as well. A miscommunication deep, maybe with the stall count rising. That one way overthrown. Gatewood Wolf on it quickly to take it to the front of the end zone. back in his hands. Currently just playing it around the back with Summerby. Allen takes off, and they want it deep again. He has steps, has separation, can watch that one all the way into the hands under the most cursory amount of pressure. Now laying it towards the far sideline for Summerby. Can he find the option? Oh, a miscommunication with Allen. And having done all the hard work, they just throw it away.
Yeah, that was peculiar. The miscommunication, we're not seeing exactly what he was seeing, but there were 3 red shirts not too far and seemed to evade all of them.
Maybe one of those where there's so many options, you're just not quite sure which one to hit. Gets the throw out quickly and early. Allen is challenging, and Allen makes amends by getting the block. Bristol finally been able to generate a bit more pressure when Würzburg have the disc, although, of course, this is against their D-line.
The old adage, you play your best defense when you are personally responsible for the turnover, and Allen hacks that one away from Hacker. And another chance for the Rats to nibble their way down to the other end.
Front of the end zone then. Taking the swing to Allen. DeGuero plants to go deep, doesn't get it, instead swinging in the backfield. Hughes to DeGuero. This one, a zip tuck a little bit more down the center of the field, and the sand monster got Chris Allen, because it felt for sure that the connection would have been there had he not lost his step.
I don't know if I say for sure on that. I felt that the Huck was fast. He would have definitely given himself a bit more of a chance. It was clearly not far away, but you saw that the legs just start sputtering 2 or 3 steps before he went down there, and I think he had it in 5th gear there and just ran out of room to hit the launch button. 5 turns of the point bench.
Yeah, 3rd opportunity for Würzburg's D-line to get it done. Got to credit Bristol's ability to generate the disc back into their possession, but have not been able to take advantage of those extra lives. Karayev. And a timeout called, because I think they sense that if they can get the break here, a 4-point advantage, when they'd only need 3 more to win, that's a very comfy position to be in.
Yeah, looks good. I like the call. I don't love in-game timeouts too much, but this one I can tolerate, Benj.
9-6 then, Würzburg looking for an opportunity to extend their advantage here at EBUCC 2025.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it!
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Back in action here at EBUCC, the European Beach Ultimate Club Championships 2025 edition here in beautiful Gdańsk on the Polish coastline. Storms swept through about an hour ago, but the sky is set fair now. And for Würzburg, it's been relatively smooth sailing since the resumption. Sides have traded holds, but Würzburg, this is their 3rd possession on this point, with an opportunity to break, to really open up an advantage here over Bristol.
Yeah, it's been trading since the opening sequence of breaks, and this really, as you said, Benji, this would be a backbreaker if they can put it in.
Karayev going wide to Visser. A couple of players take off. They go short to Hacker. Hacker airing it out. This is floaty. It's going to invite defensive coverage. And this time Bristol again able to earn it back. Tom Summerby rises highest on that occasion.
And nobody's willing to succumb here. This point is being fought for tooth and nail. The throw didn't really help out there either, but gave the chance to make a play, and the play was made.
Daguerre back into the backfield to Gatewood Wolf. Now they're trying to play a little bit of throw and go action. Sold Summerby slightly short there, and now playing down the line. Daguerre saw it slightly late. Went for the exaggerated jumping, but he's well shy of the end zone. Dished off to Allen. Couple of players striking up line, taking the reset instead wisely of Summerby. Bit static downfield now. Using the offhands to just about find that seam to Allen. Out in front, not sure the layout was quite in the end zone there from Gatewood Wolf. Can he find their way over the precipice? Allen says, let's go to the backfield. I think that's a wise move because it was getting very compressed. Now Gatewood Wolf with the left hand to snag. Taking advantage maybe of the defender, slightly out of position. Using the break side space, Hughes to Summerby. Bristol finally make it stick.
Yeah, that point feels as good as 2 to me. That was so close to being 10-6. And almost perplexing that it wasn't. How well Würzburg have played the long game, their ability to walk them in. I was very surprised to just see them take their foot off the pedal, a little bit of like lacking focus on their approach to the end zone. And for Bristol to bring it in, they're keeping a game of this. I think that it was a game put away had they finished that off with a break. And good on Bristol. Loved the end zone approach there. They showed some great patience in the end. There's a couple chances I thought they could have turned, forced the up lines. There was some decent cuts with some separation, but they waited, reset, and made sure of it. And they're still in this one, despite it's 6-2 break chances for Würzburg.
Just about lands in bounds there, and Ostertag feels on the roll. Naumov slashing through out into space. He's got it, and he's got no mark as well, which is always a dangerous proposition. Not seeing an option he immediately likes, though, and the stall count beginning to tick up, and a violation contact on the mark. That is going to be a accepted foul, so disc will come back in on stalling 1. Thomas Schultz just getting a little over-eager on the force. Already beyond midfield after the resumption. Visser, or Gauger, excuse me. Defender bids, doesn't get there, got to pick himself up. Stall rising, again finding the break side space. It's Gauger once more, who's been a reliable option for them late in stall counts. Naumov puts his name on that one. Strong cut in the backfield to reset the stall. He and Gauger just playing it between one another as Naumov has to extend a little bit to make sure he brings that one in. Thinking about the inside option, loses his balance there. Trying to toss it into a dangerous space. Vaslit didn't get it somehow. Not quite sure how, but Gauger with an amazing act of escapology in the simple pop in the end for Netal for the goal. But Vaslit recognized where the hotspot was. I thought for sure he was going to come in and combine to get the block. But credit where it is due to Gauger. Throws his 4th assist after remarkable hand speed.
Yeah, Gauger should not have had any business catching that. I thought it was the right poach, the right help defense step. And then as soon as he went for it, then totally out of position for the next throw.
I do actually want to commend Vasset there for coming in, and he didn't get the block, but he also didn't get contact. And how often do you see someone charge out of the stack to get a poached block there? And there's an almighty bid. So he'll be frustrated that he didn't get the block, but he did so in a way where he didn't create a big collision, which I think is to be commended.
What I thought as well was Naumov really had Schlitz's number out there. He jab-stepped him a couple times, was really shaking him, and was able to generate space in the handler space, in the dump space, whenever he wanted. So we'll keep our eye on that if they can change up the mark there, if Schlitz can step it up.
Allen now at midfield, shooting deep. I think he's undersold this one. It's only going to be tipped round the corner. Is there a second effort? No. Fingers as strong as legs as he tips that one out the back of the end zone.
Fingers as strong as legs, Benj. That is awesome. Undercooked, but the Mac on that almost gave the chance to catch the back of the end zone. Catch your Ds, ladies and gentlemen. But in this case, that D does count as a defensive stat.
So Würzburg, again, able to generate turnovers from the Bristol O-line, but not pump them in, at least after the resumption, with the efficiency and fluency that they would have wanted. Kerner will get it from the front of the end zone. Here's Hrushka. Big pump fake on the backhand. Mason sat on the floor and maybe sees the opportunity for the give-go. Now, on the near sideline is Visser. To Schaefer. Kerner's running through, surveying his options. Doesn't see one he likes. Still count rising, tries to find the inside window, feathers it through. Plain. Back to Kerner. He's really taking the lead on the turn here. Can Plain find the scoring shot? Oh, that was cheeky. Thought for sure he was going towards the far sideline, and then he leaned himself down and ripped it in there to Felix Visser, and it feels like now this is certainly Würzburg's game to lose.
Yeah, you're talking about like the signature move of Morgan Hibbert, the full lean backhand. But how about these like fall back forehands? It almost becomes undefendable. A step away from the mark, giving yourself separation. You know, you're all in on them when they're like that. You got to throw when you're going to ground, kind of. But that one was perfectly executed. And Würzburg, as you said, at Slurpee time here, 11-7, they are firmly in the driver's seat to take this one home.
Yeah, only need 2 more points to polish this one off with a lead of 4. Feels like it would take an almighty collapse to lose from here. Knight playing it short with Weinstein. And it comes out of his hands. Well, the last thing you need when you're playing a team high on confidence like Würzburg is to give them any freebies as they have there. Hacker. Pump fakes, not seeing anything downfield, but sticks with the reset, and Karayev gets it. Again, not a lot of separation downfield. And that one was undersold, and Sam Cameron with enough pressure to make sure that Bristol earn it back.
Love that, D.
Knight picks up. Sam Cam using that frame well, the full wingspan, and now they're shooting deep towards the back of the end zone. It's going to be some chase required here, and it was always too far for Oscar Ellis, who, I mean, you may as well give it a go. You never know.
Yeah, you got to go. Like it reassures your teammates, if nothing else, that it was uncatchable. But that was certainly a throwing error in the end once it's all done. Here's the Sam Cam D. What a play.
He does get a piece of it. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Visser's been hot all game long, and I would say he needed that piece, or else that would have been a shirt. There is the somewhat gratuitous bid, but...
I think it just shows that, look, we're still committed to this. Visser. Spots the option on the far sideline. Hacker, that disc could go. It should go. He's got space. He's got separation deep. Until Varnecker, not for the first time this game. I think just because he doesn't necessarily look like the most natural athlete, I think the glasses do him no favors in that respect. That you take your eye off him and he will punish you. He does have that deep speed and he's shown it a number of times.
Yeah, it's very clear that that is the strength of his game, is the straight line speed. Varnica, when he gets going, he will beat most people out here in a foot race, and we're going to see it again. He had, I don't know, 10 steps before it even went up.
I wonder if you're a really good athlete, whether you should wear glasses, even if you don't need them, just because people will think, oh, he can't be that good, he's wearing glasses.
Yeah, not a bad.
If you just make yourself look slightly, slightly of the less traditional athlete mold.
Yes. I mean, what else could you do? Put a fat suit on, kind of thing.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far because that might make it difficult to play in. I still think we need more rec specs in Ultimate, to be honest.
Yeah, Ravi, he got the laser eye surgery, and he doesn't even have them anymore.
And the sport has suffered as a result.
Yeah, give me the Kareem goggles.
I was thinking Eric Dickerson, but yeah.
Like Eric's hips.
Offhand, backhand there. Good way to utilize the space to Mason. Then a Scuba just popped over the mark there to Richardson. Gatewood Wolf back in his hands. And then Daguerre in the end zone for the score. Bristol extending this contest still with an almighty load of work to do, though.
But they do extend it. They are having their soup right now, eating, being fed.
Why are they trying to keep soup in their hands? That's just gonna filter through. It's not an effective method of serving at all. Yeah. But the point stands that yes, even if the game feels like it's out of reach, you need to keep the energy and the vibes going, because if you accept that you're beaten, then you're beaten. But why you still believe there's a chance?
Well, there is still a chance, Benji.
Correct. But no comeback has ever been made with the losing team thinking, that's it, we're done, let's go home.
Yeah, let's accidentally come from behind here. That doesn't happen. There was thought that it was coming back. It came nearly back, but it did not come back in.
Yeah, just going to be a brick. Peter Brockmeyer will take it to the brick mark. First of 5 opportunities, at least, to ice the game for Würzburg. Sam Cameron on the mark. Naumov catches low. Trying to isolate a player downfield. Past the bidding Vassler into the hands of Bauernfeind. Woo! Superb snag with the trailing edge there by Naumov under tight pressure from Ellis Cockcroft. This time he goes around to Brockmeyer. It does feel like even if Bristol aren't getting the blocks, they are so close on a number of these. Naumov finds the inside seam. Gauger sitting it up towards the end zone. And that is that. Brockmeyer with the layout for the victory. And Würzburg will top this pool on the back of a 13-8 win.
Great win for Würzburg. They got stronger as the game went on, it seemed. There was no quit in Bristol. You got to give them credit. But their inability to really break short of the very first point of the game just showed how strong of a unit Würzburg is. Anything that they gave up, they got back. And they were just winning a few too many matchups a bit too consistently. Not by much in any, it seemed relatively balanced, but they just had that, 2% better on so many matchups. And in the end, that was enough to be a pretty convincing win as we take another look at our old friend Pavilion or the Ocean. I'll be very curious to know how we get this one back at the end of the day.
I don't think we do, Steph, is the answer. Just the 2 break chances then for Bristol. One on the very first point of the game, which they quickly converted. They had one after the resumption, the point that Würzburg held to go into half. But otherwise, they could not get the disc off Würzburg's O-line. And when your O is playing generally pretty crisp, and then even when it gets into sticky situations, you find those bailout throws, those ways of just about making it stick. It's so tough to win if you can't generate that consistent pressure that Bristol would have wanted.
So Bristol and Würzburg will move on. Würzburg have given them the potential to take the more desirable next round opponent. But potential to see these two move through again. Great game. Congratulations to Würzburg on a victory and going flawless through the pool play.
One more game then from day one here at EBUCC 2025. We're going back to the mixed division, and Scotland's Deep Dish Discs will take on Putty from Finland. Of course, semi-finalists at WUCC in Cincinnati 3 years ago, so there's plenty of pedigree in that one. On behalf of our ULTI.TV team, who've done brilliantly to A, make sure they kept safe during that storm delay, and B, got us up and running so quickly afterwards, and for Steph Rapazzo alongside me, Benji Rees, we'll see you on the other side. Goodbye, tent.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Self to there, just try to open up and show someone you care. You might not be intentional, but you seem scared. Just try to open up and let it lead somewhere. Breathe in some love and let yourself unfold. Breathe in some love and let yourself unfold. There's something juvenile about your pretty face, but it seems so hard for you to know when you need space. I hope you find your peace and that you get a taste with yourself. Oh, yeah. Let yourself unfold. Yeah. Let yourself unfold. Owe it to yourself.